Shocking news. USA bans Ripple XRP to $0. Riley tweeted that China has been manipulating Bitcoin for years and has not set its dogs on the leading cryptocurrency, even though it has banned mining in the country. In his opinion, China really wants to prevent the adoption of XRP in the United States, as this will keep America from ruin. You can see the current price of XRP on your screens with a daily trading volume of $648,452,340. Used XRP has declined by 3.2 in the last 24 hours. Welcome to the Rich Club channel. Please watch this video to the end, like it, and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the release of new videos. Also in this video, we will show the lucky winner of giveaway, free 500 XRP, and maybe it will be you. So watch the video carefully until the end. According to the theory of technical analysis, it is believed that the triangle is a trend continuation figure. However, given that this is a descending triangle, not an ascending one, we can conclude that the probability of the continuation of the uptrend is not very high. If XRP breaks through the red line, then the price is likely to go up again at the same time. The first target will be the level of 28 cents, the previous peak from August 23. The second target is the 33 cents level, the top of June 20. The final goal will be the 42 cents mark, which was reached on May 17. At the moment, there has not been a real breakthrough of the red resistance line yet, and therefore it may be necessary to refrain from buying only on a real breakdown of the resistance. According to Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, support for cryptocurrency regulation in the United States is bipartisan and beyond Ripple. CEO Brad Garlinghouse shared on Twitter on January 3 that he is cautiously optimistic that the United States will achieve breakthrough regulatory clarity for the cryptocurrency industry in 2020. To mark the first day of the 118th Congress, Garlinghouse shared his hopes that 2023 will be the year when the U.S. will achieve clarity on cryptocurrency regulation, adding that support for regulation is bipartisan and bicameral. Garlinghouse said that the U.S. is not starting with a clean slate in the field of regulation, citing as examples such bills as the Securities Transparency Act, the Responsible Financial Innovation Act, the Responsible Financial Innovation Act, and the Digital Token Transparency Act and the Digital Token Transparency Act. According to the CEO of Ripple, the stakes cannot be higher. He added that no bill is perfect and probably there will never be one that will satisfy everyone, and attempts to develop a perfect bill should not slow down the progress of Congress in creating rules and legislation in the field of cryptocurrency. According to Garlinghouse, the U.S. lags behind Singapore, the European Union, Brazil, and Japan when it comes to cryptocurrency legislation and regulations. He said that the lack of coordinated efforts to implement the regulatory framework, both globally and in the U.S., continues to push businesses into countries with lower regulatory standards, leading to sometimes disastrous results, such as the collapse of FACT. Patrick L. Riley, CEO of the blockchain company Reaper Financial, shared his opinion on the role of XRP in the undeclared economic rivalry between China and the United States, saying that Ripple's current lawsuit against the SEC is not just a court case, it's a war. Riley tweeted that China has been manipulating Bitcoin for years and has not set its dogs on the leading cryptocurrency, even though it has banned mining in the country. In his opinion, China really wants to prevent the adoption of XRP in the United States, as this will keep America from ruin. In this regard, he said that the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple Labs is not just a court case, it's a war. The lawsuit against Ripple was launched by the U.S. securities regulator in December 2020, and it continues to this day, as the parties to this case continue to win small victories over each other. The CEO of Ripple hopes that the case will be settled in 2020. 3. China is working on its own central bank digital currency, digital yuan. He worked on this for several years and redoubled his efforts when Facebook began trying to create a stablecoin backed by a basket of the most popular fiat currencies in 2019. The Facebook project was put on the back shelf, and the Chinese one has already been tested on real users and their wallets. Back in 2019, influencers like Anthony Pompliano said a lot on Twitter that the US should launch the digital dollar as soon as possible. They believe that if China launched its SKBC before the US, China would surpass the US in the emerging field of digital finance on a global scale. Then the Federal Reserve System began to explore the possibility of creating a so-called Fed coin. However, some representatives of the crypto community criticized the idea of creating a CBC in the United States. Among them was the famous whistleblower Edward Snowden. He called CBC a perversion and a crypto-fascist currency. Many on Twitter also shared their fears that by launching the digital yuan, the Chinese government would strengthen control over personal finances, income, and expenses of the population, and were concerned that the same could happen in the US if the Fed launches the digital dollar. Most XRP polls expect the US Securities and Exchange Commission to seek a settlement against Ripple, according to a Twitter poll conducted by John E. Deaton, a lawyer advocating for XRP. According to the results of the survey, which Deaton launched on Wednesday, 59.2% of more than 18,000 voters predicted an out-of-court settlement of the case in 2023, and the remaining 40.8% said that it would end with a court decision. While the survey itself provides little insight into why XRPers expect a settlement, it's worth noting that many believe Ripple may have cornered the SEC with Hyman's documents. William Hyman, in his speech in 2018, as director of the SEC, argued that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not security. Consequently, Ripple's lawyers tried to understand how the director came to this conclusion and why regulators treated XRP differently, requested documents and emails on the draft speech, but faced stiff resistance from the SEC. The regulator claimed that these documents were protected by attorney-client privilege, but after 6 refusals in 18 months, 2 judges handed over the documents to Ripple in October. Nevertheless, the Securities and Exchange Commission is making a last-ditch attempt to ensure that these documents do not become public in accordance with its latest requests for the classification of documents related to applications for summary litigation. Such a strong desire to keep Hyman's documents secret has raised suspicions about their content. Some members of the XRP community and prominent juts think that the SEC may be forced to seek a settlement agreement with Ripple to hide these documents from the public. If the court rejects their petition, Stuart Alty, Ripple's general counsel, hinted that Ripple's arguments became more weighty after they got Hyman's documents into their own hands. Recall that Ripple's chief executive officer, Brad Garlinghouse, claimed that Ripple would only agree to the deal if the SEC clarified XRP, hence an out-of-court settlement is potentially beneficial to the XRP community. However, this is the last thing the broader crypto community wants. Gox Media founder David Gox called it the worst possible outcome, calling Ripple's outright victory the preferred choice. This is because, although it provides clarity for XRP, it does not force the regulator to bring clarity to the rest of the cryptocurrency markets. Lawyer James Clan predicts that if there is no settlement agreement, the judge will make his decision before or at the end of March 2020. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you liked it, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the release of new videos.